Rob.
Hello.
Luna.
Good luck, Jack.
Luna. So we just got done doing sprint planning this morning. We've got no Lee again. He's taking the day off today, but he'll be back tomorrow. So, what have we got up to this week?
So we've got Wooloop DLC coming out on Friday, so there's a couple of little bits that need fixing for that. It's mainly just level fixes. We've actually got the content for the game, and there's a couple of things we want to do for fixes for the previous DLCs as well, so that'll need sorting out. Other than that, Athena for me as well, so I want to get some Discord integration into the game, just so that people can see when we're actually developing the game. It's kind of cool. And yeah, maybe the main menu. I'm not looking forward to that though. As for Lee, he'll be doing Colour and Pixels store page stuff, I think.
Yeah.
And some Wooloop store page stuff as well.
Yeah, for me, it's a much more simpler week for me. I'm just finishing off the stained glass. Only got 5 more images to go, so I should be done before the end of the week, and then I can pass them off to Lee just to give him another job to do. So that'll be good fun. I was working from home yesterday, which was Monday, and I actually got quite a lot done. I didn't manage to record as I completely forgot. I always do when I work from home. I lose track of what I'm doing. But I actually managed to get 2 images done, which was these 2 here. And I'm overall quite proud of these images. I'm quite happy with them, especially the window. The window actually took quite a long time. It took primarily the majority of the morning, a little bit this afternoon, a little bit of the afternoon from yesterday, and but it definitely panned out the way I wanted it to. I love the little eyes. I'll get a bigger version. I love the little eyes that are peering up between the rocks here, and the vines overall really helped the image. And then I proceeded to this crow image. I really wanted to do a skull. There was some really cool references that I found for skulls. Some nice ways you can essentially inlay some stained glass patterns in there. I really wanted to do that. I also wanted to do a crow, and I thought a crow and a skull came out well together, so I ended up combining them in the end. Oh god, it's happening! It's actually been quite a busy day, as you can see. I actually managed to finish off the astronaut image entirely, and that wasn't the original plan. Originally I was just going to essentially try finish off the astronaut itself, and maybe do a little bit of the background, but I ended up doing the full thing, and I'm loving it so far. But I really like the centre of the visor. I really love this whole sort of almost flower looking design. It wasn't intentional. I did want to make it look like he was being drawn in, which is why I did this almost spiral looking motion. But essentially the colours here essentially just give it a look of almost like an orchid, and I'm actually tempted to go around and add a bit of a lighter colour here, just so it matches this side, but we'll see what I think of it later down the line. I've definitely been looking at it too long today, so I don't want to make any decisions that may compromise it. But I've recently just finished that, so recently I've been working on this image here. I say recently, it's been about 2 minutes. I'm trying to work on a really small image. Typically in my packs that I've been working on, I can get into a bad habit of making every image really big and really ambitious, which isn't a bad thing, but in terms of a gameplay perspective, I don't really want to essentially make the whole pack a drag, so I try to sprinkle in a few small ones here and there.
Okay, so hopefully the construction, you can probably hear that, can't you? Yeah, we've got some construction outside the building today. I'm not sure what they're doing. Yeah, so today I'm looking at Hexseed. So we had a couple of bugs from the DLC that dropped last week, basically with the new mechanic. We already had a lot of issues with this mechanic. It's just getting it to work has just been a bit of a nightmare. See some of the issues here that people have been reporting in Discord, and then we've got another task here with a couple of issues as well. But to simplify it, when it encountered a wall that was next to a null tile, it was basically just passing through, it was just ignoring that the wall was there. So that was the same with portals as well, and it was also behaving weirdly if that portal actually led somewhere. So I fixed all of that. There's another issue where this mechanic would go around like this, through here, into here, and then as soon as it hit the starting tile again, it would stop. So everything after this, so it actually just continues to loop around like that, would just be ignored. So I fixed both of those things. Now I'm going to run a pass of the auto test all to make sure that the rest of the levels are still working.
Okay, so it's a bit of a shorter day for me, but I actually managed to get quite a lot of things done. So I managed to finish off this lantern image that I started work on this morning, and I quite like it. I saw a reference image earlier today, and I quite liked the almost brick laying design on the window, so I thought I'd give it a go, and it came out quite nicely. I definitely wanted to try stick to orange and pinks, and I think I captured it pretty well. I may make a few changes here and there. I'm still not entirely sure whether there should be a shimmer on the right piece of the window, but I think I'm going to leave it out because I quite like the simplicity of it. But the bulk of today has been working on this image here, which is a creature's eye or a dragon's eye. I'm trying to make it look not as organised as my other pieces of artwork, where everything is kind of symmetrical, so I'll kind of quickly draw it here. So I don't want everything to be perfect like this. I kind of want it to be more kind of shattered like that, so the eye looks a bit more organic, and it's coming along quite nicely. I'm playing around with some colours right now, seeing what works, but I think I'm going to stick with orange. It's traditional and it looks quite good.
Okay, yes, I've been working on Athena stuff. This whole intro sequence is out of time now, but I have added some some UI elements now. So we've got a main menu, we've got the incredible logo that we drew on the whiteboard over there in-game, which just looks awful. I'm so sorry for ruining Jack's work like that. But yeah, we've got settings menus. Obviously the settings haven't actually been implemented yet, but we just got placeholder pages. We've got credits menu as well. The exit button does work. I just don't want to show you it. And then we've got the button to actually play the game, to actually switch between scenes. The loading time does take an awful long time.
A few moments later.
And yeah, as you can see, I can now run around. This is a different scene, so if you press escape, there's a pause menu, which is really handy. The settings menu does do stuff. I just need to make that not grey. Continue works. And one thing you might notice is that the music dynamically changed between scenes, so it kept the original music playing from the main menu until this music loaded. That's just a new thing that we had to deal with. But yeah, it's good to get started on all this stuff.
Yes, just after lunch on Thursday, and I spent the morning just doing little tasks. So the YouTube video, for example, that's gone up just in time for the Patreon release on Thursday, because I do get to view the vlog 24 hours early if they're a Toastie member on Patreon. As well as that, I've been updating the actual store pages, so gone through getting the actual screenshots for the stained glass pack, which is coming out at the beginning of next month. Store page has been live for pretty much all week, but the screenshots were out of date, so that's been fixed. As well as that, the patterns DLC has been updated as well to update the contents page down here, and that's in all languages as well, so that's good to go. And I'm just going to finish the day with a bit of QA testing out of the images that we've got at the moment. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of colours to reduce on some of these images for now, but I've done the first image, it's quite good. I'm going to go ahead and do the second one. This was completed in editor, so I need to finish this one manually and then narrow down any issues with the colours towards the end here.
So it's been quite a busy day for me so far. I managed to finish off the eye image this morning, and it came along quite nicely. I think it looks a little flat. It might just be me, but I think that's okay in regards to this image. Stained glass shouldn't really have much depth, and I think I'm overthinking it a bit, so I'm quite happy with it. But I've only got 2 more images to go, and I'm currently working on the second to last one, which is essentially going to be a sort of a castle scene. Essentially what I want to do, and this may change, I'm not entirely sure how it's going to look, but I essentially want some sort of knight down here. I'm not going to be able to quickly draw a knight. Essentially just kneeling down, holding a sword, like that. Yeah, that's alright. And essentially he's just going to be, the sun's going to be sort of shining on him, like that. And essentially it's going to have some reflection. That's what I kind of wanted to put in this image more than anything is reflection. So I'm hoping that's going to look okay. Reflection typically can be quite hard to do in pixel art, so I'm going to see how far we get first before I'm committing to the night. So I finally finished off the stained glass DLC, and this is the last image that I created this morning. I really wanted to incorporate some of that reflection kind of paneling that you kind of see in stained glass windows when the sun's beaming through, and it looks quite nice. It took me a little longer than I wanted to get this one finished. Originally it was just the window, but trying to nail down the colours and making sure the reflection looked right was a bit of a task, but I got it done, and right now I'm just going through all the levels on the stained glass DLC and tweaking them all up to ensure that they're all good for Leader QA. But I've also, whilst in the middle of doing some tweaking, I've been working on the snail character. So I'll jump over to my little sketchbook here. And essentially this is what I'll be working on next week, but I wanted to get a little bit ahead of the curve and try and nail some designs down with the guys, and we've kind of gotten almost there. I'm probably going to make a few more little sketches just so I can kind of nail down the final design. But what we're thinking is that we really like the head of this top right character, and we also like the rigidness of this shell. We want to try and incorporate some leaves. So I jumped to my next page here. Ooh, no. And essentially we can't ignore this one. This one's horrifying. This was unintentional. But essentially the leaves almost act as armour, essentially. Not even armour so much as decoration. And it looks really nice. I said I had to nail that down. As you can see here in my sketches, I've labelled it as armoured shell and a kind of like a decoration kind of shell. And we definitely prefer this one. And right now, this is just before I finished. Essentially, I drew up this guy here who looks really nice. I did some experimental designs with a fin here so they can peek through the grass, but I think we're going to stick with the leaves. So I'm going to do a few more sketches of this guy, probably not today, it'll probably be more next week, in hopes to nail down the final design.
Yeah, okay, so a lot of today, honestly, has been doing builds for the various games. So Hexseed and Wooloop mainly. I did a couple of builds for Colour Pixels as well. But yeah, I have managed to get some Athena stuff done. So you can see I've played out a little area here. So before you've seen the grass that we've got that slowly like spawns in when you use these grass seeds. But we've got two other bags here. This one is sort of like a meadow type of flooring, so we're gonna have lots of flowers. I think honestly we need a couple more flowers, a bit more colour variation, maybe some blue or something. But this is this type of terrain is designed for the fawn, so deers like lots of flowery areas, and when you've got lots of this meadow type area, this guy's gonna come over and fall in love with you, which is really cool. I've also got this bag. Is it this bag? I've lost track of my bags now. Ideally they'll be differently colour coded and stuff. Nope, that's the original. And we've got this bag as well, which is tall grass. So this is much more dominating. You can see it sort of like obfuscates the area and stuff like that. I'm not quite sure which creature likes this one. I think it might be the grumble and the rabbit, but we'll have to see what it's like with balancing. And yeah, got these big tufts of grass that cover the area.
Jack?
Rob? Yes.
It's Friday.
It's Friday, it's just us two again. Lee had to leave unexpectedly early today, so once again, it's just me. By myself.
Yeah,
He's left all the work to me.
He's moved flat and then immediately gets a leak in his old flat, so it's convenient, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been quite a busy week for us, I think, this week. Bit of a short week for all of us, but got a lot done. But make sure to check out Wooloop. That should be out tonight of recording this video, but it'll be out for a while once this comes out. Stained Glass, that store page has been updated, all some new pictures. Lee's been doing some work on that, so keep an eye on that as well. That should be coming out. Is it the week of this video? Is it the week after?
Week after.
The week after.
You
so
can
we come out real
wishlist it.
soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll get a nice little sneak peek of some images that are coming out. And speaking of Colour Pixels, Collection 3 on Switch. That store page went live, so have a little look. See if you want to pre-order it, please do. But yeah, thank you to all our Patreons, all our people in Discord who keep us all on track and keep us motivated throughout the day. It's always good fun.